We are live here on Hot Tag Takes on HamiltonRadio.net channel HR2. I am your host, John BRECKO. PJ is not here tonight. He got stuck up at school. Who knows when he'll be back. But I want to give a shout out to somebody first for putting this together. Shout out to Chris Taylor, the manager of the show that we will be talking about today.
Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate it.
How you doing? How you doing, man? It's been a little bit since I've seen you, since Andres was here. How you doing, man?
Good. Good. You know what I'm saying, busy. A lot of events and things along those lines.
You want anything you want to talk about, or?
I'm talking about Diaries of a Female Player.
That's what you want to talk about today?
That's exactly what I want to talk about. That's why we're here. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And firstly, I want to thank Jessica Banks for even approaching me with this beautiful project because she didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
I think for the opportunity.
So I do want to give her a proper introduction. This woman here over to my right, as well as Fatima, fellow cast member. Shout out to Fatima.
Yeah.
She's an Eagles fan, y'all. That's all she needs. That's all we need to have a shout out.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot we could talk about. But coming up for you guys today, we have the star of Diaries of a Female Player. On top of that, she is a celebrity booking address, celebrity manager, artist developer, author, blogger, curvy fit model, and much, much more. We're going to find out a lot about this lady today. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jessica Banks!
Bless your heart. Bless your heart and all your parts.
Thank you. How you doing?
I feel optimistic, sir.
Optimistic. Why is that?
Because we have to be, we have to live by faith and walk,
right.
and go faith to faith daily.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
Through obstacles, through situations, it doesn't matter what's going on in our lives.
Right.
We have to somehow find a way to look on the brighter side. So I'm
That's
optimistic about, things that will take place and be greater later. No matter what's taking place, I don't care what's going on. It could be a death in your family.
Right.
At some point we have to move on. Like my mom passed away 1 year and 4 months ago. I had to still, one thing she would want me to do is to still just keep going and remain optimistic and have faith in myself and just keep climbing that ladder of success. So I'm encouraging everybody that's out there even today to be encouraged to consistently keep a positive way of thinking.
100%. I don't want to, obviously get too much into this, but my wife's dad, he passed away around the same time. So, it's been around the same thing for us, just one foot in front of the other and just, trying to make something better, trying to make visions happen, and, trying to connect with people here and, just trying to, make every goal that's going around, work for both me and her.
That's
so
great.
I love that. But the first thing I did after, Chris gave me all the information, I went to YouTube and I checked out Diaries of a Female Player. But I actually just told you this. I fell into a little bit of a trap, right? Because YouTube, they have the most recent videos listed, right?
Right.
So I end up I didn't go from season 1. I just watched the most recent season and I watched it backwards. Because I just ended up going down the list. But I did manage to figure out some of it. I managed to figure out that you do play a sex therapist on the show,
Yes,
Jennifer
I do,
Moore.
Darling.
That's right. And you and one of the other main characters, Keith Scott. You have some sort of relationship. Your love lives are seeming a little bit complicated here.
Well, Jennifer Moore. I gave the back end on Jennifer Moore, but let me fill you in.
Right.
So Jennifer Moore started out as a therapist. She was an innocent thing when
Do
she
you think
met.
Jennifer Moore would like my red hair and my beard
I
just
think
like you
that
did?
she actually would. Actually, she'd pull on it.
Yeah.
Or she'd probably smush your face in it.
The voice,
9 times out of 10.
the voice went down real low. Did you hear that? Like that's
I
the
had to jump back into her real quick. I know how to jump into her and jump back out.
That's the female version of baby lock them doors and turn them.
So she was a nerd pretty much, and she had, you know, a rough background.
Okay.
And she met an older gentleman, probably about 3 or 4 years older than her, by the name of
Right.
Mr. Buck. Mr. Buck was a uptown, I'm gonna try to get through this quick, was an uptown drug dealer up in uptown Manhattan. He ran even from Rikers Island. He ran stuff out of the jail cells out into the streets, and he just had money. He
Right.
put her through college for 4 years
Oh,
straight
wow.
to become a therapist. She would stay quiet about a lot of things that he would do that she would notice that he was doing. She went through his phone like most women do.
Yeah.
Went through his phone and
You
found,
just leave it laying around.
Yeah, so she went through his phone, found that found Crystal Maldonado was one of his runners, but she's also a younger woman, a younger version of her pretty much.
Okay.
And she's screwing Mr. Buck. And Jennifer Moore was harboring bitterness towards Buck, you know,
Right.
because of that, but she never said anything to Buck about it. But she had to find ways to try to get back at him because she knew his power. She knows he's a dangerous man. And she knows what she could potentially end up getting herself involved in. You know what I'm saying? If she was to lash out on him, that could cost her life.
Right.
And her money and her career.
Okay.
So she shut up about it. So she's trying to sneak around and find ways to get back at him. So she went and dug into Crystal Maldonado. Found that Crystal Maldonado was a runner also for the lower drug dealer, the simp down in lower Manhattan.
Okay.
Which is Keith Scott. Keith Scott became a simp and gave up the lifestyle.
Okay.
Buck was still doing it. He then took all of the runners that he had that was running the streets for him and made them work and put them to work and put them inside of his marketing company. And now they all work, and he's making sure they all get paid. He's taking care of them. And he fell hard on hard times a little bit financially. So Crystal know that Mr. Buck was about to do them, you know, the Fed times for 10
Right.
years. So he had, with the money, he had to do some type of money laundering or do something to invest it into a business in order
Yeah.
for him to stay, you know, a little wealthy.
This is Keith Scott, right?
No, that was
This-
Mr. Buck. Mr.
Okay,
Buck
this
has
is
to do the
Buck.
jail
Okay.
time. Keith Scott is the guy that's down there trying to change his life and trying to do things right
Yeah.
now. And that's
Okay.
who Crystal Maldonado ended up working for, but then she ended up in a relationship with him.
Okay.
So now Jennifer Moore did research and found that out. So now Jennifer Moore is after Keith Scott because Crystal Maldonado was after Buck or did screw Buck or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So now she's applying pressure to Keith Scott
Okay.
purposely to
So
hurt.
So that's
Yeah.
how we
Crystal.
connected the dots.
Yep.
So they're connected to Buck, so she's hurting them now.
Yeah, she coming at them hard though. She's
Yeah.
she's trying to be careful, but she's trying to do something really crazy, so much to the point where other pimps in other states, down in Florida, Mexico, where his back could be up against the wall,
Right.
and she's standing there looking at him laughing. I knew the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sort of where we are right now.
So that's also what I couldn't tell with Keith Scott. I couldn't figure out like if he was.
He don't
trying,
know.
Yeah, like I couldn't figure out if he was trying to change or
He
he
was. He is.
He was.
He is.
You just trying to make sure he goes back.
Yeah.
You're trying to take him back down that
yeah,
road.
and he won't do it. And he's saying stop. But what he's not realizing is that he really does have a thing for Jennifer Moore, for an older woman. And
okay.
he's like, nah, because of your age. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing. But then he can't resist it. Why do you keep going to go get the therapy sessions if you don't want her?
this?
Right. Why you keep coming back to me?
Yeah. No.
But you
sure.
keep coming back. You keep making appointments. No, but and then when you get busted by your girl, and now you got a new girl, and now
Right.
she busts you, and you was like, no, she was a therapist. Oh no, actually she's a sex therapist. So now you got to explain that she's a sex therapist. Sex
You got-
therapist. What do you mean she's a
You
sex
got to have
therapist?
that conversation.
Yeah, you got to have a long discussion. So that's their relationship. But there's a lot of relationships in Diaries of a Female Player.
So I'm curious about this right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was Jennifer Moore or if it was Jessica Banks, but she was trying to pick out the weak link here.
Yeah.
And we came to the conclusion that the weak link was Ruben over there. That's why he locked himself in the other room. I need to know, who do you think is the real weak link here? Do you think it's Keith Scott or do you think it's Ruben? Who would be a weaker
Oh,
link?
Keith will always be my weakest link.
Oh, he'll always be the weakest one.
Yes.
See, because here's the thing. I think if you rub Ruben's bald head enough times, I think we might have to actually figure this out. See, he showed
No,
me.
I think Ruben would be like, look. Okay, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this.
You think that's how he sounds?
Yes.
We do love his hairstyle here, though. We always tell him he's Jeff Bezos in the front, Jimi Hendrix in the back, and it makes no damn sense.
We're not going to do this. Stay away from me, Jennifer. But Jennifer don't know how to tell you. You know, she don't know how to back off. You can't. You can't do that to Jennifer Moore. Jennifer too sexy. You ain't gonna do that.
That's right.
Listen, I had men tell me that the only reason why they watch Diaries of a Female Player is to see Jennifer Moore. They was like, I like her. That's the party girl. I want that. Can I have some?
See, you want that until you get it.
Child, listen.
Then
They better go ahead.
Then she doesn't know how to leave.
They better go ahead. You got to know when you're dealing with Jennifer Moore and when you're dealing with Jessica Banks, though. Know the difference.
You can tell her you want that if you want to. No, but I do want to talk a little bit about Diaries of a Female Player and how much it might relate to you and why you guys decided to tell this story, because he talked about how beautiful of a project it was. So talk to us a little bit, about how you model that, after yourself. What are some of the similarities and differences maybe between you and Jessica Banks, and again, why you decided to tell the story?
Well, I wrote this story in the midst of depression.
Okay.
It's a romantic comedy, of course, but I was in a very deep depression at the time. I was in my room, and I slept in the dark 24 hours a day. I was starving myself purposely. I just didn't want to live no more. It was a lot of stuff that was just going on around me. It's like 5 or 6 different things that just hit me really hard. And I would find myself on my knees praying, but at least I had the strength to get up to start praying. I remember, my ex-lover would tell me, open the windows. At the time, he said, open the windows, let the sun shine in. Yeah. I did not want to open the window, but one day I got up and I said, you know what, let me just go on a walk. I was so weak because I wouldn't eat. Right. But I opened up the blinds and I at least got some water in my system, and I hit the shower. And then I started playing, like the little jazz music on YouTube. You get you a nice little jazz station on YouTube, getting 24-hour jazz things, you'll be all right. So, and then I started playing like my little spiritual stuff. And, heard the voice of the Lord, because I am a prayer warrior. Right. And I consulted the Lord first about this. And he said, write a comedy. I said, what do you mean a comedy? I heard comedy. So I said, all right. He said, take your situation and flip it and throw a monkey wrench. Throw a few monkey wrenches in there. And make the men the women and the women the men. The characters, rather. And I said, oh, okay. So I then, at that point, slept on it. And then I woke up to Crystal Maldonado. I created Crystal. Crystal is women. I said this before, and y'all ain't gonna like me for saying it.
So that's the first person you
created? That's the first. Oh, yeah, she's the first. And then Keith Scott came next. But Crystal needed a companion. It was like God. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say in the book of Genesis, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How he created the man, you know what I'm saying? But he needed a companion. So now here we go. We got Crystal Maldonado, but she needed a companion. So I created Crystal Maldonado, but like I said, her character is based off of the fact that I was not realizing that I was not taking full responsibility or accountability for the things I allowed to happen to me. Right. And a lot of women do that. Instead, a lot of women out here, and they placing blame on everybody else. It's like blaming on the rain. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You want to play victim.
A lot of people do that.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You out here playing the victim, but you the one that started all this stuff. Don't start, none won't be none.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing I notice with people, right? Not even just women, but everybody likes to take whatever situation they're in and spin it like they're the victim.
Right.
And there's no accountability for whatever the situation is for you to try to make it better. Right. A lot of people are just sitting here complaining about whatever situation they're in. And maybe there's some things that, somebody else did cause. But the thing when you're in a bad situation is you have to take ownership of what's going on, and you have to figure out how to do what you said, flip it.
Right.
So
You gotta stay positive.
And I think a lot of people struggle with that.
You gotta become positive at some point. But see, but the thing is that you can't have a conversation with Crystal Maldonado, because if you do, she's gonna look. She's constantly looking and trying to dissect, literally trying to dissect what you're saying, so that she can find a way to spin it and turn it into something else, so that you can be the mouse caught in the trap. No, we're not gonna keep dealing with this stuff, women. Stop.
Cut
it out.
Stop dealing with it.
Cut it out. Period. A lot of men are going through that. Y'all want to be wives. Y'all want long-term relationships out there. But this is the stuff that you doing. How could you sit up here and say you want a faithful man, but you ain't faithful?
Preach.
I'm trying to understand. How are you for the streets? I don't care if it's one other
But
man,
you
but
trying
I
to be
messed
for
up
one
only one
person.
time, baby. You for the streets. Loyalty. Excuse me, but I take respect and loyalty over love any day. I ain't gonna hold you, and
Right.
I have my own explanation as to why. I'll explain that later, maybe another time.
If you want.
But
It's up to you.
but I'm a firm believer of pure loyalty, and I've
Right.
seen a lot of women mess up. I've even seen women. Most recently, I seen a woman come down off of an elevator. I'm talking about Diaries of a Female Player, and I'm talking to her sister. Her dude, I didn't know was her dude, and he was standing there talking to somebody else about Bud. So I was like, oh, I ain't know nothing about it. I don't even know who dude is. Don't even know his name. She came downstairs and said, who is this? Pointing at me.
Just out the elevator.
Who is this? I said, excuse me, ma'am. I wasn't talking to him at all, ma'am. I do apologize.
just out the elevator.
Yes, yeah. Who is this? Where you know her from? Where you know her from?
The
That's
elevator.
the player.
The elevator when she walked in.
Where you know her from? Excuse me, ma'am. The insecurity ain't gonna do nothing but probably make me want to come at him. Is he a good man? Because you don't need him on your shoulders. Maybe he need to be on mine. Because I'm gonna tell you now,
Right.
sis. That's probably a good man right there.
That's
But
right.
you throwing him away. But he can come over here with the sun shining at
Hey.
him.
Hey, if you hey, before you was gonna throw that at him, I was never gonna see this man again.
Right.
But you know, if you
Right,
want to
don't do
make
that.
something out of it, I
Don't do that.
mean,
Not to a player like me.
you know, I'm scratching my beard over here.
So no, I ain't actually say that to her. I'm
Right.
I'm bull crapping, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
in general. But if I was the player, like in Diaries of a Female Player,
Right.
I would have done something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not me. You know what I mean? I apologize to the lady for anything, but she kept hollering, screaming, and yelling, and then other things happened. They had to call the cops. But anyway, that's not the point. That ain't the point. The point of the matter is insecurity, the lies, the pointing of the fingers, all that stuff don't keep no man, baby. It's not going.
Pointing fingers
no,
don't keep anybody.
No,
Right.
waiting, spinning the
Ruin
story.
Ruin friendships that way too.
Yes, and
Business
business
relationships, all of it.
yes.
Facts don't.
It happens to me quite often with the spin. They sit back there. It's like you know how a child pinches you, right? So when a child pinches you, or if somebody pinches you or bites you, you gonna say ouch.
Yeah.
If you put your hand over the fire flame,
Gonna
it's
say,
gonna
"You're hurting me,
"Ah,"
stop.
Right.
Right.
So if you say stop, you're the problem.
Fuck out of here.
You become the issue.
Yeah.
So that's who Crystal Maldonado is. But I
Right.
remember there was a time in my life where I wanted to blame somebody else for what I put myself through.
Yeah.
And that's how she was born. Keith Scott was born when I said, okay, well, listen, Keith Scott got to come. I gave him the name Keith Scott. I was just walking in, and then Keith Scott came to me. I looked at Terry. I was wanting to, I always wanted to work with Terry Quintero more. And he's a model, but I said, that is Keith Scott. I don't care what nobody say. This is Keith Scott. I said, this is gonna be the one that's gonna change Diaries of a Female Player. This is the one that's, he's gonna come in ratchet, but he gonna be the one that's gonna change everybody and everything. He probably gonna end up a preacher. I don't know. I'll be thinking. I don't
You
know.
know,
yet.
there was so she's
don't
got
know yet.
Instagram Live going, right? There was a preacher in that chat. I don't know if he's still here,
Oh,
but
that's
he was
Pastor Hines.
he was telling people step into my office. See, I'm a little bit old to be for a preacher now. I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm about maybe 15 years too old at least. I was gonna say 10, but I was like, you know what? That's not low enough. I'm not that young anymore. Oh man, but I was gonna say Ruben's in there if you like bald heads. Just let
Hey,
you know.
Ruben.
You rub it a few times, the genie might come out and might grant you wishes. Might see the guy from Aladdin just come out right from his pores.
No, we call him Candyman because of the bees.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we call him Candyman.
Oh, hell yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Candyman.
I would have never thought of that myself.
Candyman can.
Candyman. So I actually have a little bit of a two-part question because you
Okay.
mentioned Crystal Maldonado was first. You mentioned Keith
Keith
Scott
Scott.
came after that. So it almost kind of seemed like you kind of made the show how I watched the last season backwards a
Yes,
little bit.
yes.
So when did Jennifer Moore come into that?
Jennifer
and
Moore.
after that, I do want to talk about Fatima's character a little
Yeah.
bit.
Jennifer Moore has always been there. It's just, and she was there from the very, very beginning. Mind you, she is Mr. Buck's woman.
But when did she come like as like a character? In the
Oh,
story?
no. She.
We can talk about that. But
Y'all really want that story for real? Got a tattoo on me. It
Okay.
sits right here. Her name is Sparkles.
okay.
How am I going to say this? Because I really want to keep it real with the people. So I was younger, right? What had happened was
Oh, I like this.
I was young. I'm not doing this no more, y'all. Don't please don't have nothing against me when I say this.
She's not like Keith Scott. She's changed.
I'm a
She
changed
has
woman.
changed.
I love the Lord.
She ain't
and I won't
going back.
take it So in reality, I did have runners.
Okay.
Some of them are still on my page, and then you know how they say. I'm gonna just put it. I had runners. It's
Right.
called the Cat House. Hard life, off and on for 10 years.
Okay.
So I'm the one with the runners.
Right.
So my runners did turn into housewives.
Okay.
My runners, one of them overseas married, had
Alright.
multiple children. My runners, one of them got a beautiful house, owns a house. One of them is down in Atlanta, married. And they all changed their life.
So,
So that's how I relate to her. But I was very femdom. So with me being femdom, and I had it naturally. It's not anything, an act that I actually put on, but I'm really like that in real life. So like she said, earlier, I'm really like that. Like I could really relate to Jennifer Moore because I'm femdom. So I'm a little on the dominant side, just a little bit, a tiny bit.
Just a tad.
A little bit. It's a little bit. But I'm not that woman anymore. I'm a little bit more humble than what I used to be.
That's what she says to all
shout
the
out
guys
all
who want
my
Jennifer Moore.
runners. Shout out to all my runners. I know y'all still on here, and I'm proud of you. Every single last one of you. They all came. You know what I
Hamilton
mean?
Radio is proud of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, I am that person, and I ain't talking about drugs either. I'm talking about OPP.
Right.
Other people's. Yeah.
She's down.
Yeah. Face down, ass out. Yeah. All of that. So yeah. I used to have multiple off and on, and I'm the one that they would come talk. I need some money real quick.
Right.
So I would have runners in real life. This happened, and shout out to my dance teacher, Carolyn Watson Johnson. She would tell the story because I would go to dance class, and she would be laughing at me. She said, "How many of them ran for you today?" She said, she'd tell everybody the story. I'm like, okay, please don't tell nobody the story no more. I'm so embarrassed by it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. But she was like, it was funny to me because you were so young. You were so young doing it. I started at 18.
Oh, wow.
18 years old, 17, 18, when I had women working for me. So, yeah, that was me once upon a time. But I ain't like that. I'm 43 now, y'all. It
was a long time ago.
And I got grandkids, and I'm not doing that no more. So, that's what made the story more interesting, and that's what connects me to Jennifer Moore, the fact that I am femdom naturally, and I did have runners.
So Jennifer Moore came sometime after the first two.
Yes, she was
Okay.
born first. Keisha Thomas was born before Jennifer.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Keisha Thomas a little bit because we got Fatima in the building. Shout out to Fatima.
yeah.
As an Eagles fan, we can't just go not talking to her about stuff over here.
Talk about the what?
But I actually want you to talk about your character a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Keisha Thomas, if you don't mind. I want to hear a little bit about Keisha Thomas from you.
Okay, so Keisha's a regular girl, regular working woman.
Right.
Not only is she a working woman, she's also into Broadway. She's a dancer.
Okay.
She's single. Well, was single. She's not single no more right now.
Right.
Right now she's engaged. We haven't talked about the person she's engaged with, so and she didn't put him out there yet. So
okay.
and she's also with Chow. So that's another thing. But
Hey, you know what? It worked out just fine. though.
worked out just fine, right?
She was.
She not with Dwayne Smith no more, but she is
Right.
with Child with
Je-
somebody else. She found love. It was just wasn't with him. So
Jessica was talking about how the whole cast just ended up being pregnant at the same time.
Yep. All pregnant. Everybody is. Don't make no sense.
well,
That's funny. No,
She
because she
started
told me
it.
that. I was like, how?
The whole cast.
Like, just all at once.
All at once. Shout out to Nirvana Tate. And shout out to
That's-
the Robinsons. They're
that's
all
legit.
married. Jessica, I see you out there, girl. Jessica and Quentin are married. And they have a baby. They got a baby on the
Yes,
way.
I love y'all.
And the
Congratulations.
the Tate family, they have a baby on the way. They're all a part of Diaries.
Okay.
They're married. Married couples.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out to Alexander Young. Him and his wife came in pregnant too, but the baby's born now.
Oh wow, congrats.
Yeah. Yep.
It started with them.
All
and with
married.
everybody else.
But I'm
Just tell them they started it.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
They did. Alexander Young and his wife started it first.
Yeah. You just had to go and make everybody else
Yeah, I know.
out here starting
I
the
can't
pregnancy
help it,
trend.
Right.
But they married couples. Let them go on. Go on, finish Keisha Thomas.
Okay, so and that's about it about Keisha. I mean, she's just a regular person, and that's it right now. She's just living her life and enjoying her life without the drama and the commotion. As you can see with the last episode that was just recently posted, her and Crystal just got back reunited with each other because
Okay.
Crystal moved far away, and so now it's a lot of stuff going on amongst Mr. Buck and a lady named Sonya, like Jennifer Moore, and all of this other stuff that's, kind of going on. But Keisha is more so chill, laid back girl, basically.
Okay.
And she's a little shady too. She's what woman is not shady though? Honestly speaking, we gonna keep it 100. What female in this world don't have a little shade?
There ain't.
Don't have a little
There's
shade.
always something that they're not
It's
telling
always,
you.
yeah, right. Don't have a little shade.
Always hiding something right away
So
that you find out about later.
Facts, though. Facts,
Chris
though.
is just on the side. Just
Facts, though.
So in a way, Keisha Thomas is also a player as well, but she's undercover with it. So you get those women that play the innocent role and they don't do anything, but they're controlling.
Right.
That's a player.
okay.
They want to control your entire life. No, oh no, you ain't going out tonight. You ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. Where you think you going?
she could tell you a little bit
Excuse
more about
me?
Keisha than I
Right.
could because she created the
Yeah.
character.
So if you pay attention to Keisha, she looks at Dwayne when Dwayne is like, "Oh, your name is what? Denise Huxtable." And she looking like, "Oh, don't get messed up."
Who was that in that elevator with you?
That was the girl in the elevator.
No, you talking about the guy in the elevator?
That was
The girl in
elevator.
the guy. You talking about
That
the guy
was
right with the
Keisha.
elevator?
Oh, it was Keisha.
She ran into a Keisha.
Yes.
Who is that?
She was laid back until then.
She was like, "Don't
I'm
get
just
messed
saying,
up."
Till they got stuck in an elevator. God forbid somebody goes on the second floor, you go on the third. Oh, you going down now? Excuse me.
Yeah, where you think you going?
What you mean you going down floors? Better come back up those floors. You better take the stairs.
Want some milk and cookies? I'm gonna get you the milk and cookies. What you want something to eat? I'm gonna fix it. Lay down. Lay down. So you get the ones that are like that. Keisha Thomas is very much like that. But see, Dwayne Smith liked it.
Yeah.
He adored that about it. Oh yeah, I like that control stuff. Hey, it turns me on. I don't care about that. He's silly anyway. He didn't care, but he still was a cheater. He just was crazy, weirdo.
So here's what I do want to ask. So the first episode I watched, right? It started. You were in a session and you were talking to this older gentleman.
Oh, that is.
And
Let me stop you just for a second.
I just thought about it.
Okay, if y'all watch, I don't know how many P-Hub people that are out there. That's second to Mandingo. That's second to. He's a real P-Hub star.
Oh, okay.
He don't
I actually
like
had
his
to.
name being
It
said
actually took
too
me a
often.
second to put it together on what it was.
Yeah, he is well known, and he's our first C-lister to come on Diaries of a female player. That's why he said, "You seem like you sitting on $1 million, baby. When you gonna let me bend it on?" I was like, "Oh
Alright.
no, oh no."
She said,
No,
"Boy,
no, no,
bye."
No. I don't want that. I don't want that. He don't like me saying his name too much. He was like, "No, don't put me out there as that, because
Okay.
I am a director. And I'm not gonna say his name,
Right,
but
okay.
because of the respect, because he
Right.
don't want me doing that. But yeah, he's a real P-Hub star, and he's one of the ones that you seen back almost in the 80s.
Oh,
80s into
wow.
the 90s. That's the best stuff to watch. Yeah,
So
so,
he-
he's one of them.
So he's he's just been doing it.
Yeah, he ended up with a stroke and then,
Literally.
gave his life over to the Lord, and he's now, living a normal life.
I mean,
And
that's
he
great,
wanted
man.
to come back in and do diaries with me, and I appreciate that.
I will say this. I'm not gonna ask about who he is any further, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just trying to
Listen,
be respectful because of his
for
spirituality.
sure. No, but if you could do anything like that and actually like make something for yourself, like
Yeah.
I respect it.
What I like about Diaries of a Female Player is that we all can relate to our characters. We all
Yeah.
have been there and done that, and we can relate to all of you that are out there. Some of you have had probably you're probably hearing stories of your life right now. You know what I'm saying? And just know that if you want out, there is a way out. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me.
Yeah, there's always a way to give something up that might not be for you.
Right.
Whether it's a relationship,
Yeah.
P-Hub or something else.
Right.
For sure.
That's what I call it, P-Hub. Come on.
I
now.
mean, I'm sure all the adults in the room can figure out what it is,
Right.
even if it takes you a couple seconds, like it did me.
Right. Put two and two
I was like P-Hub. What is P? then I had the light bulb click. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he was like, I don't need no promotion. Please don't. I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna say his name. But
Right.
but he had a stroke and he turned his life to the Lord, and he's in college. He's getting his master's degree in the
Oh, that's
film
beautiful.
and everything like that. And he's writing consistently, and he's really deep into production, and he's gonna be doing movies also.
He just went on to the other side of movies.
Yeah,
Right,
the
right,
other
right.
side. So, but
So-
it's a passion of his. From
Yeah.
he came over from California.
Okay.
So you know it's real. It came from
Oh,
over
yeah.
from California.
For sure.
He lives in Maryland now. So yeah, he's living his life and he's living it up good.
Might want to hook Ruben up with this guy.
And Ruben, why does he keep messing with
Oh,
you?
man, always.
Well, now that I'm also set because Ruben's big into films, right?
Yeah.
And especially because he's on the other side now. Because I know Ruben goes to like film festivals, he does events, especially on the camera, stuff like that. So, hey, maybe one day. But so I did also want to ask about something that you do that I checked out on Instagram. Actually, it's you put a show together called Music Industry Live.
I love it.
I don't know if you still do it, but I watched like the first ones that are like right there, just pinned on there. And the first show I watched that you did was from a couple years ago. It was with Positive K. And for
Yes.
those who don't know, he's worked
yes.
with Grandmaster Flash, Big
Yes.
Daddy Kane, and he's worked in the music industry for a real long time.
Oh yes.
You talked about how some of these younger dudes in the music industry need someone like him who was around at a time when it was a little bit harder maybe to get noticed. You had
Yeah.
to get your press kit together. You struggled to get your DJ to play your
Yeah.
music, et cetera, et cetera. You brought up how you could post something on social media and potentially the whole world can see what you create. I think someone else could say that the flip side to that might be because of that, so many people can make content that others can get a little bit lost in the shuffle maybe.
Yeah.
And that it's easier for people to hear you today, but the challenge might be to get people to notice you over some of the noise that others might be creating.
Right, right.
So what would you say to somebody that's trying to set themselves maybe apart and trying to get heard over the noise? What's some advice you would give to that
Oh, that's
person?
easy. The industry is what you make it.
Okay.
It belongs to you as the artist. Am
Okay.
I right or wrong?
Correct.
The power is in your hands. Now, you want to sit around and you want to be butt lazy, that's your business.
Right.
You will not get noticed.
Yeah.
But there's a certain way to go about to do things. And you have to go about doing it the right way. If it's you, and not only that, you have to be approachable. You have to cross all your T's, dot all your I's.
For sure.
I'm talking about contracts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have the right people in your corner. You can't have fugazi ninjas all in your life. You can't have them all sitting around smoking every time you turn around, trying to knock your shit, son, yummy. Them not the ones. They're the ones hating, sitting back. This is why rappers don't live.
Right.
And a lot of them are dead.
For sure.
Because them same ninjas that I just got finished mentioning is the ones that's sitting around them, pumping them up, but them the ninjas that's sitting there plotting on them.
Right.
Whatever God gives to you, I'm telling y'all now, go on and pray about it. like I did, like I had to do with Diaries of a Female Player. Now, shout out to Music Industry Live. Music Industry Live is coming back very, very, very strong. We have a lot of celebrities all coming off and on there. I have so many
Okay.
celebrities on there, don't make no cotton picking sense. I can't wait to get the more updated ones. I've had Father MC on there. I've had, oh my God, I'm going back some time. I had Men at Large on there. Shout out to Dave Tover and
I do have
also
a question
Jason.
about Men at Large, by the way.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
too. Men at Large. Dave is actually a part of Diaries of a Female Player, and so
Oh, is he?
Yes. So is Fel Davis from the group Public Announcement. That is R. Kelly's group. Public Announcement with the Yippee-Yi-Yo song, whatever. They're all castmates in season 4.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
So we have a few celebrities joining the cast and everything like that because of Diaries. Because of Music Industry Live. And Music Industry Live is technically it is a music industry educational platform.
Right. To let people know, like,
Right. So
about...
I give the artists, they come and they teach a class.
Right.
So it's more based on the
You
educational.
do call it the classroom.
Right.
I
it
saw
is,
that.
Yeah. It's called the classroom. So I bring in the artists to teach the class, and I'll give them the topic, and we'll come down. You know what I mean? We'll just run it real quickly, and then sometimes and then I also interview them at the same time. So. It was fun doing the Music Industry Live, but we coming right back real soon. I just have to finish up these 2 episodes of Diaries of a Female Player, one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then you're coming back to that?
I'm gonna go back to Music Industry Live because I have to sell a movie, right? I gotta sell Diaries of
right.
a Female Player. It's marketing and promotion time for me. Yeah.
For sure. So there was 3 episodes that I watched in total. So the second one I watched was actually Men at Large.
Oh yes.
When I watched them, I came up with a more general question because I watched Positive K first and then them. And what they had in common, even though Men at Large is more of an R&B group and Positive K is a little bit more hip hop, they have decades of experience in the music industry.
They do.
Before I get into my question, and I did come up with another one for them, I watched a little bit of the interview with Ladies of Sky. I watched
Ooh,
that
I
actually
love it.
today.
Yes, I love them so much.
And, you know, I didn't want to forget them because they started in, if I have this right, I think it was 76.
Here's to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And are still performing to this day.
They are still performing.
That's
All original group members. They're all sisters.
Just so everybody knows, they started producing music in a place called Hole in the Ground Studios.
Yep.
And went from there. I could only imagine what that looks like. I'm just
They
picturing
showed it to me actually. They gave me pictures
It's
of
probably the
it.
nicest hole in
It's
the ground you
really
ever
a
seen.
hole in the ground. So if you're outside and you come across and you're just walking down the street, so like say like if we in Trenton, right, and we walking down the street or whatever, and you just see like a brick wall just sitting there, but got like a little fenced area, like kind of sort of, but then you see it's looking like it can go down into
What
a
else?
basement.
In the basement.
It's really deep down, hidden, but down into a basement.
Literally a
And you
hole
wouldn't
in-
even
hole in the
think
wall.
that is an actual hole in the ground. That's why it's called Hole in the Ground Studios. Because it's
I
really a
love that.
hole in the ground. You have to lift up the thing to go downstairs.
Wow.
Somebody just dug a hole and put studio
Right,
equipment in it.
right.
So yeah, they've recorded Here's to You on, and that's one of my favorite ones. Besides Start of a Romance, they before the era started changing, and they had to change along with it. You see what I'm saying? Into house, they had to do a house music thing. I tried to sell them my house music. I never changed my mind. But they do a house music, and then they were doing Start of a Romance. That's in the New Jack Swing era.
Okay.
All of them, and then they were also disco as well. And I was very honored to interview those ladies because that's one of my mom's favorite groups.
Oh,
That
wow.
was one of my mother's favorite groups. And she said, well, please tell her I said hello. But my mother played them all the time. And I had an old soul at an early age. So I like a lot of older music.
Yeah.
But as far as
I noticed that. You have a lot of the older groups on
I
there, for
love
sure.
it because this newer, I don't know what's going on in the newer generation nowadays, but they need that music that mama and daddy played back in the early, 70s, 60s, and in the early 2000s or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had an upbeat mom. My mom was a musician also. So, she played a little bit of everybody. She sang background for people like Jody Watley. She sang background for the for Atlantic Star, people like that. So I'm naming some names then. And then not only that, my mama was also signed to a record label. So I ran into a lot
wow.
of people. Shout out to the Foursome D's and Kid and Play, signed to the same label that my mother was signed to. along with Gene Groove Allen and all of them. Shout out to him too. I don't know if you've seen Gene Groove Allen on Diaries shouting us out from the movie House Party.
I probably have and just didn't catch it.
Yeah,
To be honest.
one of the castmates from the movie House Party shout us out.
Oh,
It's
wow.
all on there. Yeah, so we getting a lot of recognition and a lot of audience anticipation and participation. And this is the positive. This is the upside of Diaries of a Female Player for the most part. And she actually heard Men at Large yesterday, just yesterday. One of them yesterday say, "I'm mad at you because you ain't put me in season 3."
You didn't put us in sooner. How could you do that to us? We wanted to be part of this.
Yeah, she heard it.
We keep trying to tell people.
Some people don't believe you when you say, "Look, these are my connections, and my reach is there. It's there. It's there.
Right.
It's there." They be like, "No, you're not, cause I could do it better."
We keep trying to tell people. Everybody wants Jennifer Moore till they get Jennifer Moore. You thought we was playing.
So I have a reach, and I'm grateful to God for that. I'm very
They
grateful.
wanted to be in season 3 till they got to season 4.
Right. So they will be in season 4, and I can't wait for the next year to come.
I love it.
So that we can have them. But I believe that Dave may be making an appearance before we go out of season 3. He
Okay.
wants to let Mr. Buck have it. I think.
Oh.
I think he's trying to
Okay.
come at the pimps. The pimps are coming at each other because they fighting over Crystal.
Oh.
She's a good runner. You know.
Okay.
Maybe she's a good sucker too.
Maybe. Might be a thought. You might have to find her on P-Hub somewhere. Let me find out.
Man.
So there was some.
Sir! Woo! Yeah.
So there,
Ow! I had a little flashback. Damn.
that voice might go a little bit low again. I'm sorry.
See, sometimes you gotta watch out, cause Jennifer Moore pop out anyway.
Lock
Yeah.
them doors and turn. So there was something that you said, and I don't mean to get away from Diaries from a Female Player too much, because I know you guys want to talk about that. What you said that I kind of, was listening to was the fact that, your mom was signed to a record label.
Select
Because my
Records.
question was that I wanted to ask, how did you form relationships with some of these artists that might have been on Music Industry Live? And how did you yourself get into hip-hop and R&B from being a fan to becoming involved in the industry?
I find
You
it
might have answered a little bit
right.
just now.
I
but-
just find it amazing that when I was younger and I had dreams of these people, like I dreamed about Will Smith, meeting Will Smith and the guys from Kid and Play and some of these people. High five. Oh my God. Yeah. I dreamed about stuff like that. And I don't know if it was just something that God was just trying to tell me even at an early age. But my mother was part of the real reason why, because I'm an industry baby. I came up in rhythm and blues and church and gospel and all that there type of stuff. So when I got older and I, was old enough, wise enough to be able to go out and do it myself, I became my own publicist. Sometimes you have to know how to wear several hats before you got. It's called faking it until
sure.
you make it.
Right.
So I had to teach myself to become a publicist. I had to teach myself how to talk. Did you know I used to read the dictionary? I used to read the dictionary like a book.
Yeah, so did I.
So
I knew how to read music. I started reading music. I ended up getting homes, teachers at home. Shout out to Nathaniel and his wife, Fanny Nixon. I was taught how to read music and everything, sheet music. It was just crazy. But I applied myself. That's what
Right.
every artist has to do. You must apply yourself. But I had to wear multiple hats like I'm doing now.
Right,
I
for
got to
sure.
be the film director. I got to be the editor. and I had to teach myself how to edit.
Okay.
I'm self-taught on Diaries. I'm self-taught. Music Industry Live, self-taught. When it came to interviewing people, I shout out to my brother Bruce Davison, Seneca. We had a TV show called The Underground Takeover 2 right here in Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Very, 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 very legendary. And the whole city loved it. We used to have big old giant parties. We were the sister show to Urban Expressions out of Philadelphia. Shout out to Keith from Up the Block and Miss Shelley Williams. But they were our inspiration behind forming The Underground Takeover 2. So I then started meeting celebrities even through that platform.
Right.
And I started just building, and kept building. And then from there, I have to say that, I'm sorry, prior to that, I was a video vixen.
Oh.
And I did movies with Spike Lee. I did 2 with Spike Lee. And I did one with Woody Allen. I did Celebrity with Woody Allen. I did He's Got Game with Spike Lee.
Okay.
And Summer of Sam was one of my first ones with Spike Lee, and I had to scream and all this type of stuff. So I had the speaking part. So So that kind of sort of put me out there. Then I became a video vixen in a late '90s and 2000s, early 2000s video vixen. So I started traveling everywhere. I started to get paid to do all this stuff. So I started making connections and connecting dots, and a whole bunch of people that I just met. I even, I was a big fan of a gospel rapper because I came from gospel, and I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. He sounds like Biggie Smalls. So shout out to my apostle. He's now my apostle. He's in my life, my spiritual father, Apostle Jarvis Cooper.
Okay.
And he had me out there rapping and everything. He was like, yo, you talented. I want you to write to this. I was like, oh no, what are you doing? But I used to watch him on BET.
Okay.
I used to watch that man, and it still drives me crazy how I remember every single last song, everything, and I'm just like, I just cannot believe these people are in my life. God, this was destined for me. This was destined for me. I used to dream about this stuff. These are people I dreamed about, literally saw them in vision, in my sleep, and I seen them. And I was like, I told him, and I know because he don't really, when it come to fame and stuff like that, he don't really, because he a preacher, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he don't really get into that conversation.
He's just trying to get somebody to step
Right.
into his office.
Right. No, not that one. No, not Apostle Jarvis Cooper, but he's serious about God. But my spiritual father was a big inspiration to me too. He would,
Yeah.
I would tour with him, so I met Kirk Franklin with him.
Oh, wow.
I met Yolanda Adams, Donnie McClurkin with him. I met Sister Cheryl from Salt and Pepper.
Wow.
Me and her, when I was talking about what I was trying to do with this vision, she said she's into it. And that's where that started, with the celebrities talking about, hey, I want to be involved. But the budget just was never there. So I'm praying about the budget.
Okay. I hear you. So there's 3 more questions that I
Sure.
got, and then, I'm going to let you guys go because I know you guys have been here,
I'm
since
only
8
down the
o'clock.
street. I'm okay.
Oh, you down the street?
No.
Okay.
I had to get out the room, to come up here. But I'm only down the street. So I'm good. And she is too. She's only down the street.
All right. But let's give a shout out to Freestyle Freaks because they were here first. Shout out to Freestyle Freaks, the show before us. And this is a good time to let everybody know, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Ruben, we just hit over 3,500 subscribers today.
All right.
That's dope.
So-
That's dope. That's dope.
I
Really
live.
dope.
The first one I've got is about the Ladies of Sky. And I want to know because, I understand you didn't have the whole group on at once. Like you said, you had the sisters on when you were on the show. So after doing that interview, would you ever have their other members on or maybe the entire group together? Is that a possibility?
They actually did do a reunion, and I
Okay.
would do it over and over and over and over again. I love that. They are like my mom and auntie in real life. They work normal jobs just like me and you and everything. Work
Right.
state jobs, and you know what I mean? But the people really do respect them, and they still touring.
I mean, I teach
Word.
people how to swim for a living. I don't know how normal that is. This seat is probably so damn wet right now.
No, my son, shout out to my son, Christian Wilson. He is in the Junior Olympics.
Oh,
Word.
what?
Yeah, swimming.
Oh, man.
Swimming.
That's what's up.
That is
Shout out to
amazing.
my baby boy. That's the baby, 14 years old.
Oh, that's the baby.
That's the baby boy.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
man. That's
That's dope.
amazing. That's beautiful. I love
Somebody
that.
just said they just subscribed to Hot Takes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, right here. See?
Yeah, 3,500 strong. Help us get to 36. Help us get to 4K. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, 100%. So, how was the reunion?
The
let's talk a
reunion
little
was
bit about it.
excellent, actually. They did it in New York, out there. You know where the Wiz was shot at, out there in
Okay.
Coney Island. So I believe that they did an event out there, and then they traveled. Now they just touring together. They're everywhere, and I love them so much. They know that whenever they hear from me, something good is happening. Something definitely good is happening. You know what I'm saying? When they were just coming back on the scene, I had certain offers available for them and everything, and they were like, "No, we already got this going on. Thank you, but thank you. You know what I mean, Jessica Banks, we good. I was like, all right, well, whatever y'all need, I'm here. I said, well, how the hell? Well, the song "Here's to You." Let me break this down.
Okay.
I'm listening to "Here's to You," and I'm just jamming. This is after I interviewed him. I'm still jamming, right?
Right.
We get done about 10:30.
Oh, you get people hyped. You get
Yeah.
people hyped up for music
Yeah.
industry
I
now.
do. So I'm still listening to "Here's to You," just for you. By the time I got done listening to this song, I was dancing so much. It was about 2:30 in the morning, almost 3 o'clock. I said, why am I so tired? It felt like I just got done with the show. It felt like, and I said, I called.
Then
her
you
the
look
next-
at the-
I called Denise the next day. I said, Denise, is this what y'all did back in the day? No, didn't you mention that y'all got out of the club at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning? I said, so this music really drove y'all to do what I just did? They said, yeah, girl. I said, well, I was singing that song in my sleep. I'm in here. Here's to you, just for you.
Just on the bed, somebody's thinking something's wrong.
Hey, David is here. Hey, there goes Minute Large.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about you.
Shout out to
He's
David
talking
Minute
about
Large.
you.
Let's go. What'd he say? Now I gotta figure
He
this
said,
out.
JB, there he is.
That's right.
He just got finished talking
She
to me.
likes
He's
my
talking
red
about
hair.
you.
She likes the red hairs in my
Hey, and then I
beard.
got another celebrity in the building. Hey, what's going on, Mike? What's going on?
Shout out to Mike. Mike's in here.
Oh,
we're
he's
in
got
here.
a lengthy. I would pull him on. He's got a lengthy. He's got Grammys as well. Was signed to Def Jam. All of that stuff.
Bro,
I
she
don't wanna
kept
say
saying
his
he's
other
got a
name.
lengthy. I thought Jennifer Moore was coming
lengthy.
out.
Oh no. Like a lengthy career. All of them have like
Okay.
over 20-something-year-old careers in the music industry. Hey,
I was like,
baby.
wait a minute, where are we going with this?
That that is Mikey J. Mikey J was part of, I believe, Terror Squad, right? Terror Squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So these are all of my celebrity friends that have just tuned in. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Baby. They say I look amazing. Oh,
Get on her line.
maybe they want to hear from. Maybe they want to hear from Jennifer Moore. Maybe. Do you think Dave has any questions for Jennifer
I think
Moore?
they might be thinking about it.
Do you have any questions for the sex therapist?
What are the questions? I'm not as good in that low voice. I can't play Jennifer
All is
Moore as
great,
well.
Queen. Yes, Mikey J.
That's right.
Is Mr. Buck here? Oh shoot! Wait a minute.
Oh, Buck is here?
I think Mr. Buck is here.
Buck's here.
Yes. Oh my goodness! Shout out to Mr.
Bucky!
Buck. Mr. Buck is here too.
Shout out to Mr. Buck.
Oh, thank you, Mikey J. He said, "I swear to God, I love this lady. So damn genuine." Oh man,
I love that.
See, look, Fatima, you said this earlier today. You said it seems like they're more interested in the people in the daggone community.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, get with the program, folks. You said I want action, no questions. That's what Dave just said.
We ain't gonna do all this talking.
No, we ain't doing all that talking. Not with
No,
Jennifer Moore.
we ain't wasting time
Jennifer
for
Moore gonna
that.
drop to her knees. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to step into the office.
So Dave is one of our castmates, everybody from the group Men at Large here at Diaries of a Female Player, but he was also on Music Industry Live. What questions did you have for Dave again? Let's go back to Men at Large real quick.
Yeah, no, I think I asked you something about it. I think it actually led to you, like, you becoming involved in the industry. I think it was connected to that.
Okay.
No,
'Cause
but if they ever want to come on the show, they're more than welcome. I can always find a spot.
Oh yeah, he will,
So,
definitely.
just
I
so-
think
just so
Dave
he
is all
knows
the
that
way in
now.
it. I believe that Jason is in Michigan and Dave. Y'all probably have to do a virtual.
That's
But
fine.
Dave is in Atlanta.
Okay,
He's in Atlanta.
that's fine.
So
I can
Dave
do
will be
that.
making an appearance coming at Mr. Buck
Okay.
in just before season 4.
See, that's what we all need to know. What's gonna
try to
happen
get
to
Mikey J too.
What's gonna happen to Mr. Buck in that
No,
confrontation?
Mr. Buck ain't going. Listen, let me tell you something. Mr. Buck reach. I just talked about the reach. His reach is immaculate.
Okay.
So because they know to tread lightly because the power he possesses.
Right. Okay.
But
Because I thought something was gonna happen to Mr. Buck. You were hyping it up.
No, Mr. Buck is not. Trust me, Mr. Buck good. I'm not gonna tell too much, but Mr. Buck is great.
She's making him sound like Falcone from Gotham.
Yes, he is. That he is. That's a powerful source right there. So that's why
That's right.
everybody's going against each other over him within the circle. It's crazy, right? They mad because they can't really get at him.
They don't want that smoke.
No, they don't want
They
it.
said the Buck stopping right there.
No, they don't want it. Shout out to Mr. Buck. Mr. Buck is here tonight.
All right.
What is going on, good brother? That's a good man right there. That's a good
love it.
man. I'm trying to tell you.
So I got 2 more. Who are some artists, both young and with experience, that you would like to interview in the future?
You wanna know what I find interesting? Because I want to know her story. I would like to interview Sexy Red
Okay.
Ooh.
because everybody's got a story to tell, and I believe her story is probably deeper than what we think.
Okay.
I know a lot of people do judge her.
Right.
You know,
It's easy to judge when you're not that person.
right. You don't know the story.
Right. Exactly.
I've had that happen to me. You know what I mean? It's happened
For sure.
to me. You know what I mean? So we don't know the true story behind why she is the way she is, but I would want to know. But maybe
Yeah.
that she'll be like, shut your mouth. Everybody, mind your business. You know what I'm saying? So she may hit me off with something like that.
Right.
Who else would I like to interview? You mean like today's artists?
Today, yesterday, any of them.
Who did I want on the show? Another person. She couldn't make it. It was Mickey Howard. I wanted to hear Mickey Howard's story. Because people still picking on her about her son. But she has one heck of a testimony about Michael Jackson. Her son does favor the man, but that's not his son. She's had DNA tests done between the man that she had the child with. And it's just that Mr. Joe, was like a father to all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When she was signed to the label and she was connected to Mike. So I wanted to hear this. She was very close to Michael Jackson. Dave actually told her, knows her personally. Because they were signed to the same label underneath Gerald Levert. And I believe her and Gerald Levert had a relationship at the time. So she has one heck of a very deep story. And she couldn't make it because somebody tried to break into her house when she was about to be interviewed on Music Industry Live. I said, look at the devil. I said, I had to pray for her. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And shout out to my sister Melba Moore and Robert Glasper. Those are like my family members right there. Robert Glasper has multiple Grammys. He's a current jazz pianist, and he is the producer for everything that's out there right now, from the singer Her to just everybody. Common, you name it, any soul artist, Jill Scott, he produces for everybody, but that's like my family right there. And so is Melba Moore.
Okay, so you do actually have, people that are lined up for music industry.
Yes.
You did mention you were bringing it back. Who are people that we can expect to see now that, we've talked about like some artists?
Dave Tover
Okay.
from Men at Large, and we have Fel Davis from Public Announcement thus far.
Got it.
Locked in.
All right.
And
so-
we have, again, Cheryl Cooley on the soundtrack and the group Climax on the soundtrack. We have S.J. Hampton from the group Imagine, from the 90s boy band group Imagine. He is the MD, actually, for Diaries of a Female Player, the movie.
Yeah. So, one last thing, especially because Ruben just gave me the 2 minutes.
Got you.
He just gave me the light. So, can you tell us about anything that's coming up for Diaries of a Female Player? I know we got into a little bit of a confrontation with Mr. Buck. Can you tell us anything that's coming up for Diaries of a Female Player? You've talked a little bit about a movie for the series.
Yes, the movie will be released. We are ending our third season. We will not be back not until after the movie is released. The movie will be released in January 2025, and I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. It's going to be released a little bit after my birthday on December 21st.
Okay. Is there
of this
anywhere
year.
that it might be playing? Where
It's
people
going to
might
be
able
playing
catch it?
definitely on Tubi, and shout out to my brother Byron Perry. It will be on Red Coral Universe as well.
All right. I love that. So, before we end the show, I did just want to say thank you. I really,
you're
really
welcome.
appreciate everybody coming. Shout out one more time to Chris for signing it up. Shout out to Keisha. I can't wait to see her yell at somebody in an elevator again. You did mention there was like a new man that wasn't revealed.
No, he's
so-
not revealed yet. He's not. That's her husband.
Oh,
Soon
okay.
to be husband.
Oh, okay.
It's not Dwayne,
So she
if
really.
if you watch the last episode, you see the conversation between her
Right.
and Crystal.
Okay, got
So
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't really say too much. She said just a little, but she didn't say too much.
We're gonna keep him out of there because Keisha's changed apparently.
Keisha, yeah.
Another change
Keisha
one.
might be saying
She got this. she
finna be saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost.
holy.
she got this man to take the stairs. That's what she did. But thank you, Chris. Thank you both for coming on. I really, really appreciate both of you being here. Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
Especially because I know you were
Really-
pretty much done after the last show. So
Oh no, honey,
It's a
everybody's
pleasure
pregnant.
being here. So
That's
thank
right.
you so much, and thank you for
Shout out
inviting
to all my
us.
pregnant women that's the part of the cast. 'Cause everybody get pregnant. That's why I gotta wait
Everybody.
till next year.
Prego gang over here.
And then some of them just having babies. Shout out to Pussycat Doll. She didn't have a baby. Lord, all the married couples, Jessica and Quentin, congratulations. Y'all got a baby on the way. And the Robinsons, y'all just had the baby. It's Nirvana and the Tate family. Shout out to the Tates, Nirvana and her husband. They got a baby on the way too. Good Lord, have mercy from heaven. This is everybody. It's all love here. You get
That's
that?
right. Of course.
We're
That's
ending
how
this
it should
show.
be.
It's all about love.
That's how it should be.
Facts, though.
Anyways, everybody, this has been Hot Tag Takes. One more time, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We just hit 3,500 subscribers. Help us get to 36. Help us get to 4K. Anyways, Hot Tag Takes. We'll be back next week. Shout out to Ruben. We out.